A new feature that has been added in CompositePro 4.1 is Fabric Builder. It allows us to model various types of fabric composites using unidirectional composites. I will go through two examples of how to use this tool. As you can see, we have three types of fabric materials to choose from: a random continuous mat, a woven fabric, and a stitch fabric. My first example will go through a woven fabric. We can now choose the layup for our woven fabric. I will choose 45-45 plain weave. This next window allows us to choose our fiber volume percent for each of our plies. I'm just going to leave it at a 50-50 split. Page 4 allows us to select some micromechanics properties for the materials that will be put on each ply. So I'm going to set the aerial weight to be 9 and the void volume to 0.5. This window shows us the thickness of our fabric, and it allows us to select whether to use micromechanics based on the previous window or select an existing lamina. I'm going to use micromechanics. Now we can select one of three failure criteria, either max strain, max stress, or quadratic, that Fabric Builder will use to run progressive failure and calculate the strengths of our material. Now we will have to choose 5 strength values individually, and without knowing information specific to the fabric, the first failure is usually the most conservative estimate because it is the first ply that failed. We can also plot these results to see what the overall graph looks like. So here is our graph, and I will return and select the first result for each of our failures. This window allows us to name our new fabric material. Now we are on the final window of the wizard. We can select Append to an existing laminate, which will create the material as a lamina, but also append it as applied to the end of the selected laminate. Or we can just save the lamina. We will just save the lamina for now, and we can go in and see that Fabric Builder 1 has been created, and now we can view all of our properties. Now I will run through my second example. Stitch fabric is slightly different in that it creates a laminate instead of a lamina. If we choose that and click Next, we can choose our laminate layup. So I will choose quadraxial 90, 0, minus 45, 45. From here we can see the same micromechanics window, and I will set the same values as in our previous example. And I click Next. From here I can choose micromechanics or choose an existing lamina from a list. I will select an existing lamina. From here I'm going to use our Fabric Builder 1 lamina. As you can see, we were not required to go through the progressive failure steps to calculate strengths. We simply need to set our name and click Next. From here we can append to an existing laminate or save as a new laminate. Since we chose Select Lamina from a list rather than creating our lamina from micromechanics, we will not have a new lamina created in our file tree. So you can just click Finish, and all that will be created is our new laminate, Fabric Builder 2, and you can see the layup here. For more information on Fabric Builder or CompositePro, please visit www.fireholetech.com/CompositePro, or if you have any questions, feel free to email them to compositepro@fireholetech.com.